11 remakes from the 80s that actually worked. In the world of cinema, movies that are remade usually hold bad reputations right from the start. Viewers watch them expecting the same magic that the original had, but are generally disappointed due to a modern touch that filmmakers add. However, based on the plethora of fun and entertaining films released in the 1980s, there were bound to be several remakes that reinvented the charm and magic their predecessors carried. And sometimes remakes aren't as bad as one may think. They can be thoroughly enjoyable. This video will bring you a handful of such entertaining remakes that worked with the audience. Before we go into our list, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click from you, but it means a lot to us. Thank you. Let's begin. Evil Dead 2013, The Evil Dead 1981. In the original Evil Dead, a group of college students decides to take a vacation in a remote cabin where they find a mysterious book and an audio tape. Some incantations within the tome unleash powerful evil upon everyone. It kills each of the students, leaving only one of them to fend for himself against the Evil Dead. The remake contains a similar plot where a couple and their friends go to a remote cabin to spend time together. They discover something known as the Book of the Dead and unwillingly summon powerful demons that live around the woods. In the end, they're all possessed until only one of them remains to fend for themselves. Although Fede Alvarez's remake of The Evil Dead isn't a rigid redoing of Sam Raimi's original, its main framework is similar, and it contains several visual nods to Raimi's work. It has intense blood, gore, sadistic torture, and some overtly creative death scenes as befits a slasher film. Its extreme special effects are accompanied by makeup that conveys the gruesome situation the youngsters find themselves in as each of them gets possessed. Moreover, there are gooey scenes with projectile vomiting, exposed bone and flesh, and a total splatterfest. Besides these, Alvarez has certainly done Raimi proud with an attractive ensemble cast delivering very believable performances. The cinematography is breathtaking, being shot in the cold forests of New Zealand. Most importantly, certain humor elements are incorporated within the dialogue that blends well and creates the impact that Alvarez wants. Overall, the Evil Dead remake is a guilty pleasure that contains a spine-chilling atmosphere that keeps viewers on their feet throughout, anticipating the next jump scare. My Bloody Valentine 2009, My Bloody Valentine 1981. A few decades ago, an explosion in the town mine trapped 6 people. Harry Warden, the only survivor from the event, was sent to a mental institution. However, he escaped and took revenge on those responsible for the mishap. Several years later, there are a series of murders occurring and everyone suspects that it is once again Warden. The remake portrays a town where there was a drilling accident. This accident took the lives of 6 miners. Only one survivor, Harry Warden, is discovered in a coma, while the others appear to be killed by his pickaxe. Harry awakens from his coma on Valentine's Day and murders several people, including a group of teenagers celebrating in the quarry. The deputy sheriff kills Harry, and the only teenage survivors are Tom, Sarah, Axel, and Irene. 1 decade later, Tom returns to the village after his father's death to see that his ex-girlfriend married his friend, who is now the sheriff. On Valentine's Day that year, there is again a string of murders that everyone now thinks Tom is committing. Patrick Lucier's My Bloody Valentine is a gimmick that initially attracted viewers due to George Mihalka's original bloody slasher. It is evident by its name that it is a tacky horror film that does not cater to very high street viewers of the horror genre. Even then, it contains a robust, unique opening sequence and an entirely plausible, though slightly ridiculous, finale. What viewers appreciate most about the movie is that it stands out as a full-fledged horror film in its vibe and demeanor. It doesn't shy away from displaying excessive bloodshed, gore, or violence. The filmmakers chose their technique of revelation wisely, using amusing, grisly shots to capture all the right visuals. The 3D reformatting was a smart move because certain scenes take advantage of this gimmick, such as flying bullets and axes that make the audience feel like they're the target. My Bloody Valentine attracted people who grew up in the 80s mostly because its atmosphere matched those of gems like Sleepaway Camp and Friday the 13th, making the movie highly entertaining and nostalgic. The Karate Kid, 2010. The Karate Kid, 1984. Daniel moves from New Jersey to California with his mother, who has just gotten a great job offer. However, after relocating, Daniel realizes that he has a hard time fitting in with the new crowd. Although he manages to talk his way out of being bullied a few times, he's finally cornered by a group of people from the karate school. The students attempt to beat him up when Miyagi, the elderly gardener, rescues him. Miyagi and Daniel discover that the karate school students were bullying him because they were motivated by their teacher. Miyagi then decides to teach Daniel how to fight for an all-valley karate tournament. The 2010 version contains the same plot with a few minor changes where 12-year-old Dre Parker is the protagonist who moves to China with his mother from Detroit. He befriends classmate Mei Ying but is bullied by Chang, another student in the school. One day when Chang tries to beat Dre, the maintenance man at his apartment, Mr. Han, helps him. He then teaches Dre to fight so that he can participate in the upcoming Kung Fu tournament. Dre soon learns Mr. Han's true identity and begins his training. Harold Zwart's remake of The Karate Kid takes viewers back to the nostalgia of the 80s version, directed by John G. Avildsen. Although the original was entertaining enough to warrant 3 sequels, the remake was shot in China among lovely locations that add to its visual and aesthetic appeal. Many viewers thought that being a point-by-point remake made the movie slightly boring and predictable, but Zwart incorporates a handful of modern-day quirks and actions that smoothly stand on its own feet. Jackie Chan has never been an actor that capitalizes too much on screen as a macho fighter. Instead, he receives his love from his everlasting charm and a self-deprecating humor perspective. He plays a different role in the movie that attracts lots of well-deserved attention as his character lacks his usual cheerful demeanor and is more serious. Jaden Smith, son of Will and Jada, is also remarkable as he adjusts well to the character's dynamism. Overall, the movie is worth watching because of both the protagonist's character developments and the satisfying way the finale unfolds. Clash of the Titans, 2010. Clash of the Titans, 1981. Perseus is Zeus's favorite son, but he has unknowingly messed with Thetis, the sea god, and made her angry. To make things worse, he gets romantically involved with the princess Andromeda, who was earlier engaged to Thetis' son Calibos. Soon Perseus sets out on multiple quests with Zeus's help while Thetis continuously tries to sabotage him. In the remake, Perseus vows to take revenge against Hades when he sees that his mortal family has been affected because of him. As the humans are preparing themselves to rebel against the gods of Olympus, Hades threatens to unleash the Kraken onto them unless Princess Andromeda willingly sacrifices herself. Perseus sets out on a journey to stop Hades' evil plans before the god can unveil his world of chaos onto everyone. Clash of the Titans, directed by Louis Leterrier, is created with utmost technical mastery but lesser dramatic intensity than its predecessor helmed by Desmond Davis. It serves as great entertainment and a fantasy-filled throwback to the 80s that gives viewers a glance into the fascinating world of wars, demigods, and of course the snake-haired Medusa. The movie contains interestingly dynamic characters that become even more appealing once viewers realize that they are depictions of real Greek mythological characters. It displays a thrilling climax as the hero flies to the heroine's rescue on the back of a flying horse. There might be some elements of Clash of the Titans that are slightly cheesy, but the acting isn't over the top and the film is still entertaining. The audience is able to recognize the craftsmanship that has gone into setting the details of the universe. Finally, the special effects are relatively better in this movie since Leterrier used CGI animation, though it unfortunately made certain viewers miss the painstaking, cheesy stop-motion creatures of the original. Maniac, 2012. Maniac, 1980. Frank Zito misses his abusive mother, who died in a car accident a few years before. He attempts to keep her memory alive by resorting to evil methods that include murdering young women and placing their scalps on mannequins all over his apartment. Anna D'Antoni takes a photograph of him in a park one day, after which he displays an interest in her. Is she the girl of his dreams, or will this bring out more of his mommy issues? In the remake, Frank is a schizophrenic young man who is a serial killer with a scalp fetish. He owns a mannequin store and leads a quiet life, but this changes when he meets Anna. She asks for his help with her new exhibition. As their friendship escalates, so does Frank's obsession with her and her ulterior motives towards him. Frank Calfoun's Maniac is a twisted slasher film entirely shot from the killer's point of view. Elijah Wood delivers an outstanding performance in this remake of the low-budget 80s William Lustig movie. He showcases much more with his facial expressions and unhinged eyes than dialogues. Maniac is filled with immense suspense and thrills as the main character resorts to his deranged methods. Moreover, Calfoun and cinematographer Maxime Alexandre shift the movie on its axis from occasionally artsy to being pretentious in certain aspects. They have incorporated stylized camera techniques that might throw off some slasher fans, but in the end, the close-ups end up highlighting film slaughters, detailed scalpings, and other gruesome atrocities. Calfoun also shifts Maniac's action from New York to downtown Los Angeles by making the most of Elijah Wood's ethereal delicacy. In the end, though, he appears just as creepy as the guy in the original.
What's this?
Silent Night, 2012. Silent Night, Deadly Night, 1984. Billy is a young boy who witnessed the brutal murder of his parents before him. After that, he was sent to an orphanage where he spent most of his time being abused by the Mother Superior. When he grows up to become a teenager, he gets a job at a toy store as Santa. One day, he sees a couple having sex in the store, which gives him traumatic flashbacks. This leads to terrible consequences that include him becoming a Santa serial killer. In the remake, a mysterious man dresses up as Santa and goes on a killing spree on Christmas Eve, murdering whoever he thinks has done something naughty. Soon, a police force is formed to hunt down this mysterious man and stop his slaughter. Silent Night, directed by Stephen C. Miller, is a loose rendition of Charles E. Sellier Jr.'s 1984 movie. It is also based on the Covina Massacre's true story, where in 2008, a 45-year-old man killed 9 people by shooting them at a Christmas party. Silent Night advocates for Miller's enthusiasm towards overtly violent gore, while screenwriter Jason Rothwell keeps the original's charm alive. It is filled with random stabs, humor, and Donald Logue's irresistible presence. It attempts to showcase political commentary by subtly incorporating the real villain to be capitalism rather than Santa when several characters contest the closing of a local mill. Miller has integrated the occasional nods to the original, displayed to the audience in a witty manner. Unfortunately, viewers may fail to identify the killer's motivation in Silent Night that was crystal clear in the original. Besides this minor shortcoming, the Santa makes an incredible villain that will bring chills down your spine.
It's a gift.
Fright Night 2011. Fright Night 1985. When 2 men move in next door to Charlie Brewster, their strange behavior makes him think that one of them is a vampire and the other is his undead day guardian. Peter Vincent is a washed-up actor who is the host of Charlie's favorite TV show called Fright Night. He helps Charlie not believing his theories but doing it for the money. In the remake, Charlie, a teenager, suspects that his new neighbor Jerry is a vampire and has been murdering people all over town. Unfortunately, when he tries to confide in people, nobody believes him, so he asks Peter Vincent, a self-proclaimed hunter and Las Vegas magician, for his help to stop Jerry. Craig Gillespie doesn't stray too much from the original film, though Charlie's characteristics are slightly different in the remake, where he is more of a skeptic who doesn't understand whether his revelations about his neighbor are accurate. Fright Night displays an enjoyable tale where the neighbor's outlandish secret is revealed very early on. It has an imaginative storyline with a decent pace after the first 15 minutes and is a graphic gore fest. The screenplay is incredibly written and not altered much to fit the quirks of the 21st century, which gives it an authentic spin that makes the characters all the more entertaining. It has an ongoing satirical undertone combined with suspense and terror. Despite being a remake, it showcases unique execution and remarkable performances by Colin Farrell and Anton Yelchin. The Equalizer 2014, The Equalizer 1985 to 1989. The original Equalizer TV series sees Robert McCall, a former covert operations officer, attempting to atone for his past deeds by working as a private investigator for any problem that requires a solution. He holds a compassionate, straightforward attitude and a ton of experience with which he is able to deal with a variety of situations. In the remake, Robert McCall holds the same past as a former Marine and intelligence operative. However, in this rendition of the series, he fakes his death because he wants to live the rest of his life quietly and peacefully. However, he is forced to surface from his state of isolation to save a young girl from a Russian gang. He uses his power and skills to make everything right. As far as pure entertainment goes, Antoine Fuqua's The Equalizer quite sturdily makes the cut. Besides being a remake of the 1980s TV series by Michael Sloan and Richard Lindheim, it also reminds viewers of Man on Fire and Taxi Driver. Even at an age that's almost close to 60, Oscar-winning actor Denzel Washington delivers an applauding performance as Robert McCall, the dependable man who gets the job done. His character is displayed as a calm, serene ex-Marine who prefers maintaining a low profile until it is time to serve someone justice. Besides its exciting action sequences and the thrill of the chase, viewers must keep in mind that most of the movie's appeal lies in the protagonist. McCall is a multi-dimensional character, patient and serene whilst also possessing a razor-sharp mind. Furthermore, several viewers credit The Equalizer for being thrilling without having any insane car chases or heavy explosions. Just its vibe and atmosphere accompanied by Fuqua's creative execution makes this remake worth watching. Miami Vice 2006, Miami Vice 1984 to 1990. The original Miami Vice is a TV series revolving around Detective Crockett, a stubble-faced man who lives in a boat guarded by an alligator named Elvis. His partner Tubbs is a New York cop on the hunt for the person who murdered his brother. Together, the duo battles the drug kingdom of Florida. In the cinematic remake, Ricardo Tubbs is an urbanite who lives with an analyst named Trudy. The two are working undercover and transporting loads of drugs into South Florida so that they can catch a group of murderers. Sonny Crockett is another cop who is working undercover with a supplier of the South Florida drug cartel. He gets romantically involved with Isabella, an arms and drug smuggler's wife. Soon Tubbs and Crockett find themselves on edge as they get so deep into this world that their identities become a blur, with them beginning to question what they are actually working towards. Michael Mann's Miami Vice is a movie containing the same vibes as Anthony Yerkovich's TV series, but with an extra hint of boiling temperature accompanied by the stench of masculine pheromones and rage. Although Don Johnson and Michael Thomas couldn't be brought back to resume their roles, Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx dominate the screen with their outstanding performances, charisma, and of course great looks. Moreover, no other person could have authentically recreated the series with as much authorial mastery and certainty as Mann does. It is a gripping movie that exhilarates viewers for its entire 140 minutes as they witness the operatic and grandiose with which the sets, special effects, and cinematography have been constructed. Mann successfully showcases a battle of the male ego as the protagonists collide with each other. What's more, they're all portrayed by the actors' facial expressions rather than much dialogue. With its gritty atmosphere and thrilling action sequences, Miami Vice is a remake that everyone must give a chance. The A-Team, 2010. The A-Team, 1983 to 1987. After the Vietnam War, Colonel John Hannibal Smith has been framed for the robbery of the Bank of Hanoi. He and his team are sent to a military prison in the United States. During this time, they become vigilantes working around the world on the side of the good guys in the U.S. Their team consists of Hannibal, Face, Bad Attitude, and Howling Mad Murdoch. The movie portrays a group of American soldiers on a mission in Iraq to recover plates used for printing $100 bills. When their commanding officer is killed due to an explosion, they find themselves in prison. Half a year later, their leader, Hannibal Smith, gets a visit from a covert CIA operative who helps them escape the prison and look for the plate. However, things take a turn once they discover the operative's true identity and that they are being hunted by military intelligence. Joe Carnahan's The A-Team is a remake of Frank Lupo and Stephen J. Cannell's TV series of the same name, so much so that the characters' names and personality traits are the same. It is an entertaining feature film filled with action sequences and violence that has Tony and Ridley Scott written all over it. Although the script might seem flawed, the high entertainment value of the movie overpowers this. The four main protagonists deliver great performances that include a pinch of comedy and spice amongst the seriousness of military warfare. What makes viewers take The A-Team seriously is that it was derived from a cheesy TV series of the mid-80s. Carnahan has created a movie with a large chunk of adrenaline rush where the audience doesn't have time to question its fast-paced events. They are always on their feet as they watch things explode, and the action sequences unravel with unique, stylish direction. This is all the time we had for today's episode. We hope you guys liked it. It would be awesome if you guys can take some time to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to tell us which topic you want us to cover in the comment section. Have a fantastic day ahead and stay safe.